Welcome to a special Grandstand Golf show where we unveil our brackets for the WGC Dell Technologies Match play. I'm joined as always by my brother Craig.
That's bracketologist Craig. I prefer to
bracketologist Craig. All right. And our third mysterious brother has graced us with his presence and picking prowess. What's up, Kevin?
How's it going, everyone? My methodology is more of throwing darts, but we'll see.
Craig's got the formulas, Kevin's got the gut. I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't know. First off, we've released on YouTube our tournament preview, our picks, our sleeper show. So if you want to check those out, go on YouTube and check those out. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We are also hosting a bracket challenge on PGA.com. Link can be found on our Twitter at Grandstand Golf or in any description we release or description of any video we release this week. But this is a special show. We're going through the bracket, making our picks. Guys, you just want to jump into group one here or?
Yeah, we're going group by group, and then essentially at the end, you'll get each one of us going through our final 16 one by one. So if you just want to skip to the good stuff, I don't know, maybe I'll go last, maybe if you just want to know who's going to win the tournament.
Timestamp that, eh?
Yeah. We will be going down the left side of the bracket and then down the right side of the bracket. So we won't be going by group number, but we'll be going by how the bracket is kind of laid out here.
Yeah, let's jump into it. Group one.
Group one, we got Dustin Johnson, Kevin Na, Robert MacIntyre, and Adam Long. Kevin, let's throw it to you first. Who's your pick in this one? Well, are you going off the board here?
It's hard for me to look away from my boy Robbie Mac there, but I'm gonna have to go Dustin in this one. I was intrigued by Kevin Na. He's a gamer as well, but Dustin is just too good. If he decides that he wants to play this week, then it's gonna be tough to beat him.
Yeah. Craig, where are you going?
Yeah, I would love to say I'm going elsewhere, but DJ, I mean, you combine the fact that it's DJ in the form, that he's shown over the past year, and then you look like he's good match play player too. So it's not like if there was a good argument for going away from him, then I would look at it, but I just think it makes way too much sense.
But DJ is kind of like the perfect case example of how things can go so mixed up in the pool play. He won in 2017, and then next year he went 0-3 as the number one seed and defending champion.
It's crazy.
Anything can happen. This bracket, there's like a million different odds or different ways to figure it out. But with that, I'm going DJ. and I got DJ as well.
You know what? It's a good point though, Adam, because these are the top 64 players in the world, or roughly the top 64 players in the world, and on any given Sunday, right? It could, any one of these guys could beat the other one in a match play event. So, but Dustin Johnson probably would more often than not. So
I think one of the most telling things, Data Golf has a very good model built for this, and if you go over to that, they have one person in 40% or above in terms of their chances of making it out of their group. So even DJ, who I think we all, Adam, you're taking him.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So. Even DJ, who we're all taking, he's 39.9%. So chances are he doesn't make it out. It's just the chances for each of the other three is worse.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary to think about. I'm writing it in pen, Craig. It's marked in pen. It is locked and loaded.
It's on your computer. You shouldn't
No, man, I got the paper and pens.
Old school.
Yeah, the youngest brother does it old school. I got my records playing in the background. I got myself in a good headspace. I fill out my bracket on paper. Come on, guys. Okay, are we moving on? Let's move on to Group 16 then.
I don't think we need to linger on Group 1. Group 16.
So Group 16, again, going down the bracket here, we got Sungjae Im, Victor Perez, Marc Leishman, and Russell Henley. I mean, a little bit of a different group here. The lowest high seed. Craig, do you want to kind of jump into this one first?
Yeah, this is where I'm getting crazy. I'm getting off the board a bit. I think Russell Henley would be the obvious one to go off the board with, but I'm going Marc Leishman.
You're going Leish, eh?
I'm going Leish. He's got the worst odds, I think, of winning the tournament. Oh no, maybe Victor Perez has longer
anyone?
odds, but no, in the group. But I just think so. Data Golf gives him just under 20% chance. I'm a little bit of a bump on that. I think he's better in match play. Like he's one of these people who seems to pop a bit more than he has. He's made it out of his group in 3 of 6 years. So I just think.
So how many of those?
I think this is a weaker group. I think Sungjae, as a top seed, is one of the weaker ones. I think Russell Henry is a strong player there, and I think his game will translate well to match play. But to me, I just like Leash. I just got to go with the gut.
So those stats you listed, how many times did he advance in Austin? Because the last 4 tournaments have been at the Austin Country Club.
So he's played in the last 6. I can pull it up here.
You'd have to double check. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Okay, Kevin, where are you going?
I'm going off the board as well, but I'm going with apparently the obvious off the board choice with Henley. Just
don't let Craig get in your head.
Henley, I used him up in the one and done a while back, and I've kind of been kicking myself for it because he's a guy I've wanted to plug in a couple times since. So, figured I'd pick him to come out of this group. It's not, like Craig said, it's not a super exciting group. So, let's go with Henley. Let's go with the long shot.
See, I don't mean obvious. I just mean like if you were going to take someone other than Sungjae, I feel like Russell would be the one that you would want just because he has the skill set.
The sexier play, I think. Marc Leishman's just barefoot mowing his lawn, doing his thing. Russell Henley's got that hot putter from Honda.
So Leash, just to follow up, Leash is 2-2 at
Austin.
At Austin in terms of advancing. Now, that said, I mean, he's advanced 3 times. He's lost in the round of 16 each time. So it's not like has some stellar match play record. It's just he has done a decent job of getting out of his group before. So we'll see. Yeah.
So guys, I'm going different as well, but I'm going Sungjae Im. I'm going to get weird later on in my bracket. Don't worry about that. I'm going Sungjae Im. I think it's kind of it's almost like weaker corner of the bracket. And I think he's just solid. He has a string of, I think, something like 8 top 32s or something. So I'm just gonna go Sungjae. I think consistent and
he's just a real wild card in terms of we haven't seen him play match play. Although would he have been 2019?
He did the 2019 President's Cup. He's 1-0 in a singles match. He defeated Gary Woodland. 2019 Gary Woodland, I feel like is a different.
That's true.
So. Pretty good one. Well, I think this is an interesting stat that I retweeted on our Twitter. Some Justin Ray Golf. So this is the percent of 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, 4 seed in their pool that have advanced the 4 years at Austin. So the first seed, players 1 through 16, 36%. Second seed, 25%. Third seed, 22%. And fourth seed, 17%. So there's a lot of upsets that happen.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, like, I think if we go through all of our brackets, we wouldn't say the 2 seed is necessarily the second favorite or the 3, like, there's a lot of the 4 seeds here. I'm like, this guy might be the favorite. If not, he's the clear second favorite or it's not.
When we get to Spieth, like that, that's wide open. Busted wide open.
Yeah, and like world ranking doesn't necessarily tell you who the hottest golfer is right now.
Yeah,
based on past performance. Not what's going to happen this week.
Yeah.
So let's get to one of the spiciest groups out there.
Okay, group done. We got Webb Simpson, Paul Casey, Mackenzie Hughes, and Talor Gooch. Craig, you think it's spicy? Tell us why. What's going on?
Well, this will disappoint you a bit because I do have Gooch as a sleeper. I said on our DFS sleeper show, but I'm taking Paul Casey. I think I love the form. He, everything you were saying on our picks show, he was one of Adam's picks for a DFS play. I think he's a great match play player. He has great history in match play. I think his form is awesome. I don't think he's going to be phased. I think, if he gets, like, I think he has the mentality. I think there's a couple mentalities that, to me, I think we overanalyze the psychology of match play, but to me, if I'm going to overanalyze it, there's the, like, Patrick Reed, this person is just someone you don't want to play against because they're such a SOB that you just, it's like sandpaper, toilet paper. And then there's the unflappable, like, people who are just going to do their thing and they're not going to get phased by what happens. And Paul Casey falls into that category for me, where he's going to go out there, he's going to get exactly what he can out of his game that day, and he's not going to let anything get to him.
Yeah, so I'm going to completely echo that. Paul Casey's my pick. He has top 12s in his last 6 tournaments. Crazy good form. He's been a twice runner-up in this WGC. That is at a different course, but he has advanced out of Austin twice in 4 trips out of the pool play. And that does include a sudden death loss to Kyle Stanley. So it could have been 3 or 4 quite easily. So yeah, I'm going with Paul Casey as well.
I also am going Paul Casey. I kind of feel like I was looking at this group trying to figure out what was going to happen. And then I was like, you know what? Of course it's going to be Paul Casey. Like, it's going to be one of these things where Paul Casey gets here. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course it was going to be Paul Casey. So I'm just going to pick him.
So disappointing for Gooch. Craig picked as a sleeper. Mackenzie Hughes, Kevin, your boy.
I know, another one of my boys.
Giving up on him.
Might be a bit of a trend here with my boys.
That you're kind of
leaving. They might be getting left in group play here.
Okay, it's a sweep. It's a Casey sweep.
Yeah, and Kev, if you didn't hear, Paul Casey also has a perfect record at the Walker Cup in 1992 or something. So if that isn't another reason to,
hey, okay, if you're gonna,
you know what, I actually did weigh that in my decision. So
it's a 1999 Walker Cup. It was a 3rd perfect record in the last 77 years from the European team. You got to be. That's good.
No, I'm just joking. It is very impressive, actually. I just gotta take the shots when I see them.
That guy has decades of match play wins. Decades. Okay. Group 8. European group.
Almost the all English group.
Almost all English, but we've got Sergio in there. So we got Tyrrell Hatton, Lee Westwood, Sergio Garcia, and Matt Wallace. Mm-hmm. Kevin, you want to kick us off here?
Well, you know, I did notice the English, and I noticed I picked Paul Casey there, and I was thinking I might want to make an all English round of 16, but went off the board.
Oh,
went with Sergio. Mix it
I don't know
up.
If that's off the board, man.
Well, off the English board, I should say.
Off the English board.
Sergio. I just think, you know, somebody like Sergio, he's just so solid with his ball striking. He's up and down, hot and cold with the putter. It matters less in match play, I think, because he's either gonna. I don't think he'll lose it with the short putts unless he's playing Cooch.
I was going to say, is this 2019? Is that the Cooch, the awkward golf cart apology, or like we're all good video?
Yeah, 2019 or 2018, I can't remember. But
that
Sergio, I think seems to pop in these kind of things. So I'm just a gut feel, but I'm going with Sergio.
He's advanced 2 of the last 2 years in a row.
Last 2 years,
but. However, there's another guy in this group that advanced the last 2 years in a row, Tyrrell Hatton. I am taking him. I think he's one of those people I would hate to face in a match play, and not just because I suck at golf, but even if I was he's one of those people that I think he's going to go out there, he's going to make you work for everything. And I've got Hatton here.
I like the Hatton pick. I think Lee Westwood has been playing great, but I mentioned it on one of our shows that you got to have fresh legs for this. Yeah, I mean, I think that happened to Tiger down the stretch in 2019 or 2018. So I don't know how fresh his legs are, but I'm going Sergio. I couldn't leave Sergio laying out there.
Of course you're going Sergio.
I'm going Sergio. Yeah, he advanced the last 2 years. He has a 64% winning percentage at Austin. He's Europe's all-time leading point scorer at the Ryder Cup. And
that's just impressive.
He just won.
Europe has had some pretty good Ryder Cuppers over the years.
They've had plenty. Yeah. Well, yeah, that is impressive. Obviously, not the young Sergio that with the fresh legs, but I think he can get it done. I think he can go far.
Okay,
I think this is what he needs to kind of. I think this is what he needs to kind of get himself jazzed up for a run at Augusta. Not that run's gonna go anywhere, but you know, get himself excited.
I like it. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first 4 groups. That's the kind of top left of the bracket here. We're moving down to the
so
bottom
we have
left.
two consensus up there. DJ and Casey, is that correct?
Yeah, DJ and Casey. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Interesting. Our picks, we do not share these picks beforehand, just in case anyone's wondering. These are coming at you live.
These are fresh.
Oh no,
yeah.
I'm marking these down as we go here because I'm trying to see what you guys are doing here. If there's any strategies,
collusion. Okay, Group 5. We got Bryson DeChambeau, Tommy Fleetwood, Siwoo Kim, and Antoine Rozner, the late addition with the win late in Europe. Who wants to kick the Craig? You're nodding. Where are you going on this one?
Me, it's pretty no-brainer. It's a Bryson pick. I think so. We got one of the guys playing the best in the world right now. One of the best golfers in the world in form right now. He does have good match play experience. He's a US Am winner, which it definitely tests, I think, similar things. Yes, it's a different point in these guys' careers, and it might be a very different experience, but the pressure of the USM, I would say, is more than this, because oftentimes these guys get one go at it when they're in form, like in their peak
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Let's see.
But it is a match play event as well, and in that sense, to get through the USM is a feat.
Yeah. 2015 Walker Cup, 1-0-1, but he has not won a singles match at either the 2018 Ryder Cup or the 2019 President's Cup. I don't care. I got Bryson going through.
I noticed that, and I think it was like halved with Hadwin, wasn't it?
So he has
Bryson
he was 0-1-1 at the President's Cup in 2019.
The President's Cup, though, you kind of gotta just forget about that. He was in between in his transformation.
He was mid-bulk.
He was mid-bulk, and people were like, "What is he doing?" And then they found out later what he was doing. So, I also am going Bryson. I mean, from a strokes gain perspective, he's got to be picking up a stroke around on each of these guys, and you think just the odds are. The statistics, Craig, tell me the data. It's just got to favor him.
He's got 39% chance of winning it.
Winning the pool, not the tournament.
Winning the group, 4% to win the event.
I really got to work on my pool and groups. I get them really mixed up. I don't know.
So the pools is like A, B, C, D, and the groups are what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll learn it by the end of the show. Guys, I'm going Bryson as well. I agree with the USAM. His international record, I don't think is actually pretty poor for his kind of standard, especially his singles. But I think he went 1-2 once here in 2019. I think he's a different player. He'll bomb it out there, and he'll get this is why he's a popular showdown play since he's made this transformation. Like, he gets so many birdies, he gets so many scoring opportunities. So I like him. But
not just that, I think he does a lot better job of saving holes than that's what it felt like to me at the US Open, where you're like, man, like, this guy's in trouble, and then he would just save the hole. He'd hack it close to the green, he'd manage to get up and down, and you're like, man,
8-foot par putts just gets him in there. I got a little teaser here, guys.
I was gonna say, do you want to give a little spoiler alert as to what your wife's bracket did?
My wife, who's put in a bracket already, she's locked it in. She did it on Monday. She's currently leading our March Madness family pool, so she's pretty savvy when it comes to this kind of stuff. She's going Tommy Fleetwood for the win at the WGC Dell Match Play,
and not the group.
Ooh,
not the pool, the whole thing.
Wow.
She watches more golf than probably most people, but I don't know how much she actually actively watches. But
I think it might be like she must have watched Angry Golfers, and she really likes Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, I think there's a little thing for Tommy Fleetwood, but hey,
that's why you're growing the hair.
That's why I'm growing the hair. Okay, moving on to Group 12.
Yeah, I think 12 is a very interesting.
This is an interesting one. So we got Tony Finau, Jason Kokrak, Will Zalatoris, and Dylan Fratelli. Craig, your boy's in here. I mean, one of the greatest, climbs up the OWGR. Rankings we've seen in a while from Will Zalatoris. Did you go there?
I did. I went with Will Zalatoris. I think that I don't know what to do with this group that well. I feel like Finau, I think his game will translate. I don't know. I feel I just can't stop picking Will Zalatoris to win things or advance out of his group here. I don't have a lot more hard-hitting analysis as to why, besides the fact that
he's really good.
I really like the guy's game. So Finau's going to be tough. Finau is going to be a very, very tough out.
Kokrak's sneaky too.
He is. Kokrak, I mean, he can drive it and he can putt it, which those things together are going to... With Will Zalatoris, the thing I worry about the most is the putter. I think that his ball striking is good enough to advance out of this group. It's just, is he going to miss too many opportunities? Is he going to fail to get up and down? Those type of things.
Yeah.
Well,
and then actually Fratelli is a gamer.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in here, guys. I'm going Dylan Fratelli here. This is my first wild pick.
Whoa, the 64th seed.
I'm going 60. Cinderella story breaks through Finau and Zalatoris and Kokrak's group. So okay, I'll jump into it. He's a University of Texas product. He has lots of rounds under his belt at Austin. He played here in 2018 in the match play. Really stacked group. He had Sergio and Xander in it. He lost to them. That's completely fine. Losing to those guys, I mean, that's completely fine. I just think no one's jumping out at this group. Give me the last guy.
You want guys that lose?
So come on. Why not Fratelli? He's had a couple. I picked him as a sleeper, I think, Arnold Palmer, and
yeah,
people thought I was crazy. He was priced 6,400. Missed the cut. Obviously, didn't do well. But since
love that result, so I'm going back.
He's played well. He's got some decent rounds. I'm going for Telly. I mean, why not?
So originally I had Zalatoris penciled in, and I was looking to be persuaded by that argument, Adam, but I wasn't. So I'm gonna stick with Zalatoris.
You don't like my why not?
Why not? Yeah, if you would have given me one more good solid piece, I probably would have jumped on him. But yeah, Finau, Kokrak, I'd say they're both. I mean, Data Golf must have them favored. But Zalatoris has been
they actually have Zalatoris second. So they have. Let me pull it up here. They've got Finau at 34%, just out of the group. 34%. Zalatoris 26.5, and then Kokrak at 22.
Yeah, well,
sorry, Fratelli at 17.5.
Sorry, I wasn't subtracting from 100 while you were doing that. I thought you would name everyone in the group.
I thought it was clear what would be left over.
Yeah, I'm going for Telly. Let's see what happens. The other thing I really like about these fourth seed in their groups is if they can knock off the big name in day one and Wednesday, it kind of seems like they have the best route than to get out the pool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So if Finau comes out flat, go get it for Telly.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so we're moving down here to the bottom left kind of corner here. Group 13, we have Victor Hovland, Abraham Ancer, Bernd Wiesberger, and Kevin Streelman. Craig,
Let me jump in.
Kevin.
No, Kevin.
Victor. Just give it. Victor's going to do it. He's
hook it to my veins.
Yeah. Hook it to my veins. It's Victor.
Greg.
I disagree. I really hope so. Just as a fan, I would love to see it. I'm becoming more and more of a Hovland fan. He's definitely earning a place in my heart near Rory and Xander. I'm going Abe Ancer though. I think his game translates well in match play. I think that to me both of these groups I think are a little bit wide open just based on the top guys in them have no match play experience, no WGC match play experience. Yeah. I'm pretty sure both of these groups has no one who has ever advanced out of the group stage. So both this and by the other group, I mean group 4 with Morikawa. They're both at the bottom left of the bracket. So I think both these are wide open. I think Abe Ancer, he went 2-1 last, or I guess in 2019, the last time this was held, but didn't get out of his group with a 2-1 record. And then, as everyone or as most people know, wanted to take on the Tiger at the President's Cup and ended up regretting or eating his words a bit there. But I think he's a good match play player. I think his putter is a weapon that is stronger. I think is a little bit more of a weapon, a little more potent of a weapon in match play than it is normally. So I have Ancer coming out of the group.
Yeah, I mean, so I was kind of telling you on one of our shows, I had kind of Ancer penciled in as a sleeper I would like, depending on what group he was in. But I agree with Kevin. I got to go Hovland, man. I love Hovland. Hovland loves match play. He talks about wanting to play match play, USM champ. I think he's a match play superstar in the making. He just has so much game. I think
Well,
I hope. Sorry, I was just gonna say I hope that these two are 2-0 when they meet on Friday, and we just have a great kind of Ancer versus Hovland showdown.
Yeah, Victor, to me, just like if there's one knock on his game right now, I think that
Don't say it.
He probably wastes some shots, like
Okay.
because he's so aggressive. And in match play, I think that's the way you want to be. Like, fire at the flags. You make a birdie, make a bogey. Like, who cares about pars? Like, win the hole or don't, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Who cares about quads, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Go back and forth. You're
You
playing
saw the last WGC in match play format.
So the thing I would say about
without a
Hovland as well, you know, when I was saying with Paul Casey that I think he has a good personality. Like I think there's the ultra competitive types, and then the ultra I'm just going to do my thing. Like they're maybe more the low key competitive types who are they're affable and they're amiable. I think Hovland is that type where he's gonna beat you with a smile on his face, and you're gonna you know, if you're his opponent, you're gonna be like, oh, that was wait a second, he just toasted me, you know. So I do think he's a killer. I didn't want to take top seeds across the board, so this is one of the ones where I looked elsewhere.
I think if we're playing DFS, I think Hovland is going to be a super popular play. So I think Ancer is actually a pretty good pivot because, like you said, then you get to face the winner of Group 4, which isn't exactly a DJ Rom JT type person.
Now I will. So I'm picking Ancer, and I'll be playing Ancer in DFS. I also will have Hovland in DFS.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
If that's not clear, I want that to be out there. So when I show you my winning lineup with Hovland, everyone's gonna be like, "What you said, Ancer?"
You said Ancer. Okay, should we jump into Morikawa's group there?
Yeah, Group 4.
Colin Morikawa, Billy Horschel, Max Homa, and JT Poston. I know this is good. Hopefully, okay. Let's keep this one tight, Kevin.
I'm going Max.
Hey,
I'm a fan. I want to see him do it, so I'm picking him. He's been playing well. If anything, you know, a little bit like Hovland, the big miss can sometimes sneak into his game. And I think that for match play, it's not a big deal. So I'm going Max. You make birdies in bunches.
So we're recording this pretty quickly after Craig and I recorded some shows earlier. Have you seen those picks? I'm just curious.
Me? No.
Okay.
Our DFS show.
Okay.
I have not.
Craig.
He's my sleeper, or one of my sleepers. I am going with Max Homa. I worry a little bit about Morikawa's putter getting through.
For sure.
You know, Morikawa, I almost worry more about him getting the ball rolling at the start of this tournament. I feel like if he does get rolling, he could win this whole thing. But it's just, I don't know, like his game, I don't know if it seems more suited to stroke play just because of how ultra efficient his ball striking is.
I think it is a little more
he just
suited to
always
stroke
gives
play.
himself chances.
He's so consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, except for putting, really like avoids the bad shots.
And I think that's very similar to Billy Horschel too. Like Billy Horschel at that at the last WGC at the concession,
yeah.
He was the only one that didn't make a double bogey or worse, right? Like he was just kind of steady the whole way, and I think you got to be a little more aggressive in match play.
And now I do think Morikawa can fill up the sheet with birdies. That's it's just more if his putter is not there, I think he is not going to get through the group stage. So that I think both Horschel and Homa are pretty good pivots. And I like Homa. I think his form is awesome. He's actually, I think when we were looking at it, he's leading this group in strokes gained over the past 3 months. So it seems like it's a fairly like deeper one because he's, you know, we're coming from the third seed, I guess, in the group. I just think that his game's in really good shape. He's a good putter again. So yeah.
Yeah, I really like the Homa pick, and I think you're right. I think he will be popular. I mean, he's a popular golfer usually, but there's not a lot. Like, this group could go so many different ways. If Poston gets a hot putter, like, he could upset Morikawa.
I was going to say, we're not even giving any love to Poston, and he kind of has played his way into this tournament too, right? Like, he grinded at the Players to finish, to get a good finish and keep his world ranking up.
Yep. So, no, for sure. This is a hard one for me to kind of wrap my head around, but I'm gonna go Morikawa. I feel like I'm constantly against him and not giving him kind of the credit he's due with a major win in WGC. So I'm not gonna make that mistake again here. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna get him out of this group. Like, I think Morikawa can get out of this group.
Yeah, I feel like I am Morikawa. He's one of these people I seem to miss on. So I have him not winning his group. I feel like he's going to go out there and win the whole tournament now.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, one of the things I did when I was picking my bracket here and picking the group winners is that it's not going to be all of the 16 top seeds, right? So I was trying to figure out who could I see being like a casualty of those top 16 and for what different reasons. And this one, Morikawa just came off the winning the last WGC. I gotta think he's kind of more geared up towards getting into major season, and it's tough format to grind through, really. So
I also think it's just hard for these guys to show up their first year of the match play and like win and compete. That said, Morikawa shows up to the first time he's going to a major, and
totally. I was just gonna say that. Like, every kind of formula I had for majors for 2020 was thrown out the door when Morikawa just showed up and won the PGA Championship, because that's not supposed to happen. But we had this huge break, and we have this crazy good rookie class that is now dominating kind of golf.
Yeah,
and then he won at WGC, so I can't keep kind of selling him short. But I mean, there's valid points to it too. Like,
yeah.
Okay, I think we should move on from this one.
Are we moving to the right?
This is the right
other side of the bracket.
Starting with JT. This is Group 2. We got Justin Thomas. Man, this is an interesting group. Louis Oosthuizen, Kevin Kisner, and Matt Kuchar. We got a couple former winners here, but a few that have gone to the finals, I think.
I think this might be the hardest group. I think you can make a good argument that this is the hardest group based purely on their match play credentials.
So this is the one that they tweeted out early, kind of tease, and everyone's calling it the death group. A tough one for JT for sure.
Group of death, is that what they're calling it?
Group of death.
Yeah.
Kuchar's just gonna stride his sketches all the way to the weekend.
No, you need a comfy walk if you're gonna play 7 rounds of golf.
Yeah, if you're gonna play that many rounds of golf.
I think Kuchar's got to be the one for me that I'd cross off first, just because I don't think his form as of late has been particularly strong.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything besides previous course form or
just the fact that he has been awesome in match plays. He's 7 of the last 9 he's been in the top 10.
When you don't give guys 6-inch putts, then it usually helps too.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in first here. I have picked against JT. I'm going with Louis Oosthuizen to make it out of the group.
Wow.
I also have made that pick.
Oh, I'm going Oosty as well.
Louis across the board.
Okay, so why are we picking against JT? What's the...
So again, this is me looking at guys who could potentially be casualties coming out of group play. Mm-hmm. JT obviously coming off a big emotional win. I think gearing up for the Masters, and I think this can be a little bit overlooked. I can see him not being supremely focused on this event.
Yep. Adam?
I'm not talking against JT. I'm talking pro Louis Oosthuizen here. He has advanced out of the pool play 3 out of 4 times. The one at Austin, the one time he didn't was a sudden death playoff. He is a killer here, and unless he is an early withdrawal or something crazy, like I just don't see him getting 0-3. Like, he's going to contend against every single one of these guys. I think Kisner will be popular because he has such a good history here. So I pivoted to Louis Oosthuizen.
Yeah. So JT, to me, I think he's a bit of an underachiever in match play so far in his career. His career singles record, so this is President's Cup, Ryder Cup, a couple President's Cups, and the match play, he's 8-10-1. Meanwhile, Louis Oosthuizen, 23-14-3. So
I think that is great.
I think he's
a killer.
He's a
Louis
killer.
is a killer.
He's one of these people. He doesn't care what you've done. He's going to go out there and he's 20 feet and you're 12 feet. He's going to make it and you're going to miss. Like he's one of those guys.
And he has been dropping bomb putts all the start of 2021. It's like if you look at the broadcast, it's like
we all three of us went Louis. Now Kisner, I think we haven't spoken about Kisner, but Kisner is the first and second. He was first 2019 and second the year before. Is that right?
He's
Adam?
defending champ. Yeah,
defending champ, and then he was the runner-up this season before that. So this is why this group is the group of death. It's everyone here has chops, and that to me makes it that much harder for JT to get out of the group.
I mean, and if you've seen anything on Kevin Kisner, he does not give an F who you are. He'll show up. He knows he's like on the right course. He thinks he's the best golfer in the world, and that's the kind of attitude you need, and that's why he's so successful here. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a damn how far you hit it. He knows he can win here.
Yeah.
Apparently, he has a pretty decent trash talking game too, so that maybe translates well to match play.
I'm sure. Okay, that's interesting. I can't believe we swept Louis Oosthuizen in there. So,
all right.
Who is he going to face in the next round? Group 15, we got Matt Fitzpatrick. This is a crazy group. This is one I think we might hang around a little bit. Matthew Wolff is the second seed, Corey Connors, and Jordan Spieth. Anyone with you're really going for it? Let's hear it. Someone jump in. I want to hear it.
So I'm first off, we got
I'm going Spieth. Yeah.
There you go.
I just think he's just that guy. He makes shots. Like, hey, Spieth, you got to go under the tree over that hazard and hit it to 8 feet. He's like, how about I just hit it to 3 feet instead?
Spieth is Stormy 5. All right, got to win the next 5. I did it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think people would just love it too. So I'm just it's a pick that I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So this group, I'm just gone through things here. I think it has the lowest winning probability for any favorite. And there's 2 different groups that have 3 guys above 25% chance, and this is one of them. With that being Fitzpatrick, Corey Connors, and Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
I have had all 3 of those guys advanced at different points. I clicked on all of them and then clicked on someone else, a different one. Right now, I have I have ended up with Jordan Spieth as well. And it is literally, so I at first I was going Fitz. He's someone who I think should have a very good match play record, but it doesn't measure up. And so that it surprised me a little bit that the result.
What I can see here, he's 4-8 at Austin.
Yeah, which the type of game, his skill set, you would think he would have a better record than that. Corey Connors, I love Corey Connors. I love where his game is at. I really wanted to pick him. The putter just terrifies me. The putter terrifies me in a match play event. So I think he has a very good chance to get out of this, but I think Jordan Spieth is just going to do those silly things where he shouldn't win it, and he ends up winning it.
I also think Matthew Wolff, if he shows up healthy, clear head, he could be like the biggest shock. The biggest shock as number 2 in a group, because nobody's gonna pick him. Mm-hmm. He seems to have fallen off this face of the earth, but he could show up.
It's hard to pick Wolff when you got 3 other guys that are playing well right now,
all in form. Yeah.
I think this is possibly the hardest 3rd and 4th seed of any group. Like, to pair this with Fitzpatrick, poor guy. Like, he gets paired with this group. It's brutal, but I'm leaning up to it. I'm going Corey Connors. I think he has a sneaky good match play. I dug pretty deep into Corey Connors today. 2014 USM runner-up. Through that, he beat Scotty Scheffler, Jon Rahm, Denny McCarthy, 3 pretty good PGA pros. And Craig made the argument on the show. I'll kind of echo it. He could have been older than them at the time, or they're not the same player they are now, of course, but still has to go through them.
Yeah.
2013 USM semifinalist. So the year before, he was a semifinalist, got to the Final Four. He beat Bryson and Patrick Rodgers on the way. Again, Bryson was probably longer or a little bit younger than him. And his last 29 rounds of golf, he's been positive strokes gained in 26 of them. He is playing, besides maybe Casey and Bryson and maybe JT, like, he's playing some of the best golf in this entire group, in this entire field.
Yeah, I also, so just I don't want to linger on the DFS aspect of it, but I think he is such a great, like if you hadn't taken him as a sleeper, I definitely would have. We've got Spieth at 9,300. We've got Matthew Fitzpatrick at 8,700. And then we get Connors at 7,800, where like, to me, you could choose any one of those guys, I really think.
Yeah.
So, I like the Connors pick. I like him even more, I think, in DFS.
And I feel like I need to like extra defend it because it's seen as a homer pick, but it kind of is. But I need to kind of.
It kind of is, but I also want to back it up with some numbers.
Yeah. So that's why I went into kind of my deep dive with Connors. Okay, Group 10.
Group 10.
Patrick Cantlay, Hideki Matsuyama, Carlos Ortiz, and Brian Harman.
So it's actually funny because, Data Golf has been the thing I've been leaning on this week because they just built an awesome model for this. They came out and said that this, in their modeling, this was the hardest skilled or like the most skilled group. So curious to see how everyone looks at these things a little bit differently.
So I'd just like to say this is probably the group that I had the least feel for, I felt like, and I'm pretty open to be persuaded at this point. So I have someone penciled in, but I'd like to hear what you guys have to say.
Well, I've gone pretty straightforward. I went chalky. I've gone Patrick Cantlay here. I honestly almost went with Brian Harman. I think that Brian Harman is a very, very dangerous 4 seed. So Patrick Cantlay could be turned on his head come Wednesday morning matchup. But I like where Cantlay's game's at.
That's a great point. This could be an early kind of cool upset with a Harman over Cantlay.
But it also could be one of these ones where multiple people end up 2-1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I went Cantlay as well. I'm going to go into a little bit of stats. 2011 USAM runner-up, 2010 USAM Final Four. We know he is a great amateur player. That's fine. National team singles record. So this is Ryder Cup, President's Cup. He's 3-0-2. He's played here twice. He has not advanced out of pool play, but he's lost by 0.5 points both times. I think one was to Tiger in 2019. Tiger advanced and he didn't. And 2018 was Cam Smith advanced and Patrick Cantlay didn't. I think Cantlay finally breaks through. I think this is a super tough group. I think Harman is going to be dangerous. But it's a Pete Dye track. I think Cantlay. I like Cantlay.
Well, I'm not going to listen to your guys' persuasion. I'm going to stick with my original pick of Carlos Ortiz.
Interesting. A man of conviction.
Kind of a gut pick there, but he seems scrappy to me, and I think he can get a hot putter, and I think he can sneak up and take this one when nobody's expecting it. Cinderella.
So I like the Ortiz. This is where, to me, I think this is potentially the deepest. Like 1 to 4 is potentially the hardest group. Because Brian Harman has played here once. He got out of his group. Cantlay, I don't know exactly the record you were referring to, but match play in 2019 President's Cup, he's got a record of 4-2-1 in from previous WGC match plays and the President's Cup. And then Hideki, if he shows up with his ball striking, he's awesome. He's one of the best ball strikers in the world. His putter's just been so bad. So this is one that I have Cantlay out of, but I think you can make a good argument for any one of the 4.
And I mean, Cantlay just missed the cut at the Players. Like he's been playing great golf, but he disappoints at times.
Yeah. Okay, I think we can move on.
Sorry, I think I was including his amateur Walker Cup as well.
Yeah. So I just wanted to clarify that so this is 2018, 2019 WGC match plays and the President's Cup 2019. He's 4-2-1, which is a good record if you compare it to a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Group 7. This is an interesting group too. I feel like I'm saying that about all of them, but Patrick Reed, Joaquin Niemann, Christian Bezuidenhout, and Bubba Watson.
Why don't you lead us off, Adam?
Okay, so this is a group I feel like it's wide open. So why not get a little bit different? I'm going with Bez. I'm going Bezuidenhout. I think he's on the rise. He's got a wicked short game. He can do I don't know. I just really like Bez. I'm going with Bez here as an upset.
I am not. I'm going with a different, maybe slightly less of an upset. I'm going with Joaquin Niemann. I love the guy's game. I think that he's going to be a match play killer for years to come. Patrick Reed is a great match play player, no doubt about it. But I like a young guy that doesn't know he's not supposed to be winning, and I think that's what he's going to be doing. I think he seems to be the hard-headed type that is going to do well in match plays. Yeah.
A little bit like Sergio in him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
all right, Kev.
I am going to, for the reason I thought, I'm going to take Patrick Reed because nobody else wants to pick him. So I feel like he's kind of I feel like, again, he's the kind of guy who, after group play, is like, yeah, Reed made it through. Of course, Reed made it through. Yeah, I should have picked Reed. So I'm just gonna get out in front of it and pick Reed here.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair.
He's another guy that has the clear. So his career singles record is 16-10-3. That's between all the different match plays and Ryder Cups and President's Cups. Pretty darn good match play record.
Are there fans?
Bubba Watson is a great match play player. I don't know if there's fans. Do you know, Adam?
There's definitely going to be fans in the Colorado River. I don't know if there's going to be fans inside the ropes or on the course. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so Bubba Watson, 2018 winner. He has 5 top 10s in 9 years. So he is a great fourth seed.
Yeah.
To me, though, it's just a form thing. I think he hasn't been playing as great in the last few months, so it's hard to pick him.
So that concludes the top right of our bracket. We're going to move down to the bottom right, sorry. We got Xander, Scotty Scheffler, Jason Day, and Andy Sullivan.
Group 6.
Group 6. Kevin, who do you got?
I'm going to go Xander here. Going with the thoroughbred.
Yeah, I like Xander. He is my pick to win the group. I just think his not my pick to win the whole thing.
That was a dramatic pause there for a second.
Yeah, that was.
But this is the other group. I had mentioned that the Spieth, Connors, Fitzpatrick group, there was 3 guys over 25%. This is the other one. We've got Xander with 34%, Scotty Scheffler 28%, and Jason Day 25.5%. So there's 3 guys there. It looks like Andy Sullivan's being left in the dust a bit by the odds. Jason Day, very good match play record.
He's dangerous for sure.
Dangerous. His form has been up and down, I would say, over the last few months. But when his form is on, I think that he is not someone anyone wants to be facing in match play. Scotty Scheffler, we know his game. I think that maybe I'm just teasing Adam's pick a bit, but
let's talk about it. Scotty Scheffler.
Well, just real quick, can I finish off on Xander? So Xander, to me, the great putter. When you have top players with great putters, I think it makes for really good match play players. To me, it's just he has that it factor of a competitor who's going to do well in match play. And I think the putter is the best thing that illustrates it. But yeah, take it away, Scotty Scheffler pick.
Okay, so like Dylan Fratelli, I'm going with another Longhorn here. I'm going Scotty Scheffler. You know, he's got the UT experience. He's at Austin. He said he's played this course probably 100 times, the Austin Country Club. But okay, that's one part of it. That's a little home field advantage, maybe. He doesn't have experience here at the WGC Match Play, but looking at his major WGC record, and I did talk about this on our sleeper show, but I'm going to echo it. He's played 5 events, majors or WGCs. All 5, he's been top 26, and he's popped for 2 top 5s in the PGA Championship and the WGC Championship. I think he can hang with the best of them. He's kind of a sneaky upset over Xander here.
Yep.
Okay. We'll see.
There we go. It all doesn't matter anyways. It's going to be blowing up on Wednesday.
Okay, Group 11, Rory McIlroy.
Group 11, Rory, Cam Smith, Lanto Griffin, Ian Poulter. Craig, you're the Rory guy.
I am the Rory guy, but I am going to be picking Cameron Smith. I think it's an upset. I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope Rory shows up with the form that he's going to take to turn around and become number one in the world again. But in the meantime, I think Cameron Smith is a deadly match play player. I think he is going to go out there and he's going to do silly things on and around the greens. And I think he's going to do just enough to get through this group.
Yeah, Cam Smith is my pick to win this group.
Wow. Dramatic.
But yeah, for the same reason Craig said. I think that Rory, I hope he finds it before Augusta, but he seemed to be searching last time we saw him, and Cam Smith is playing really well. And I think that with that, given his match play history, I think he's a good pick here.
So much like Louis Oosthuizen, it's going to be a clean sweep from us. I'm going Cam Smith. I think Ian Poulter is no one to be ignored, but I think if Ian Poulter can kind of be a pest to Rory day one, that might be kind of enough to kind of throw Rory, maybe even get an upset there. That paves the way, I think, for Cam Smith to have an easier path forward.
I like Cam Smith to take out Lanto in the first matchup and kind of get ahead of the 8-ball a little bit.
Yeah, although I don't think Lanto is someone to be totally ignored. I think
no, I just think Cam's playing well right now.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think Ian Poulter has a very good chance of being a pest. I think it's something he'll be a bit of a natural at.
And a 60 seed that never count out Poulter in match.
No.
Never count out Poulter.
Is it anger or passion? It's passion in match play.
I like that. Okay, Group 14. We've got two more groups here. We got Daniel Berger, Harris English, Brendan Todd, and EVR Eric Van Rooyen. This is an interesting one, guys.
I think this is the most exciting group on the whole slate. I think it's hard to argue otherwise.
Your dryness is...
Yeah,
I am totally uninspired by this group. So I am taking Brendan Todd.
You know what? I had that penciled in for a long time because I was also uninspired by it, but I shifted to Berger just purely based on pedigree.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know where to go at all with this group. This group, I have no idea, but I'm just going to bet on a hot putter. I'm going to go Brendan Todd as well. And it also...
I mean, that's ultimately what I said. What I think is that the putter... I think that the putter, it gives him a weapon. It gave me another third seed in a group that I didn't care much about.
I also picked him because it sets up an easier path for my next pick in the next group. So I went Brendan Todd out of Group 14.
Shane Lowry?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, anything else in this group? So Harris has not been in form for a while. Berger, I think, is the clear pedigree. He is... I don't know if you would say maybe underperformed as a match play player. I'm pretty sure he's 8-10 career match play singles record. Sorry, it is worse than that. It is not 8-10. He is 2-8. So maybe keep that one in pencil for now, Kev.
I have him 1-8 at this course.
So he's 1-8 at this course, and then he has a win over Siwoo Kim in the 2017 President's Cup.
Yikes. You guys could give me this information earlier before I locked in my pick.
Well, you can unlock it.
It's in pen.
You've been going from pen to pencil. I don't even know anymore.
Listen, much like Adam, it doesn't really matter because it's just someone they have to go through.
Okay, so group 3.
Yeah, okay, John Rahm, Ryan Palmer, Shane Lowry, Sebastian Munoz, the last group of this to talk about here. Craig, kick us off.
I got John Rahm. I think John Rahm is... I mean, it's not a cake group. It is not the hardest group, but John Rahm, to me, I think he's a great match play player. I think we saw him go to the finals against DJ 2017, I want to say. I may have him going a little bit of a ways through this. I think he's going to... I agree with Kevin and Adam. I think he's going to take Brendan Todd coming out of the next group, but I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. John Rahm, to me... I mean, Data Golf has him as the most likely to make it out of their group at 45%.
Wow.
Ooh.
I agree with him. I think he's got a balanced skill set. He's a good putter. As long as he gets,
He's fiery.
he's fiery. As long as that fire stays in the right direction, and he's not someone that I think anyone would want to be playing in this event.
So Jon Rahm is my pick to win the whole thing. So
Wow.
Ooh.
not just this group. I'm taking him for the champion of this whole event. So yes,
That means
I'm
he's going to
picking
make it
to
out
win
of your
this group as well.
I do not have Jon Rahm. And
out of the group.
Out of the group. I
Wow.
am sticking with a sleeper I mentioned on our show. I'm going all the way to the bottom and picking Sebastian Munoz. A crazy things happen here, guys. I need to find these sleepers that is gonna rock everyone's world. Jon Rahm, everyone thinks he has the easiest path to, let's say, the quarterfinals of any golfer in this entire thing. Maybe DJ. I think Jon Rahm has the easiest path to the quarterfinals. I don't like that. That's like DJ being the defending champion and going 0-3 in his group play. Something's got to get weird. I'm going Sebastian Munoz, who can be super streaky. I talked about on our show. I mean, his high rounds are so high, his low rounds are so low. If he can catch Rahm on a bad day and Munoz is on a good day on Wednesday, it's just going to rock this whole bracket.
It will certainly rock.
And
my
I don't have
bracket.
any stats for that. That is just
This is where it cuts to the Arrested Development narrator.
I've made
it
a huge
didn't.
mistake.
It did not.
I can't remember Ron Howard. That's where Ron Howard comes in with me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Jon Rahm for two of us, Sebastian Munoz with a long shot pick. Should we jump into the round of 16s here? Who wants to take it away? Maybe Kevin. You've teased your winner. I say tease the rest
I might
of the
as
thing
well.
out.
So
Do you want to go back
I'll,
to the top left?
Sure, I'll go
here.
back to top left here. So I have coming out of groups 1 and 16, I have Dustin Johnson and Henley, and I have Johnson moving out of that.
Okay.
Below I have Paul Casey and Sergio Garcia, and I have Casey moving forward in that.
Okay.
And then I have Casey defeating Dustin Johnson.
Ooh. So
to get to
Casey
the-
is in the semifinal.
The final
the top
four.
left for you.
Yeah.
Got it.
So then on the bottom side, I have Bryson coming out and Zalatoris. I have Bryson beating Zalatoris there. Sorry, Craig.
It's okay.
Below, I have Hovland and Homa. And I have Hovland taking out Homa there. I know you guys were expecting a big run out of Homa from me.
Yeah.
But I hope it happens, but, Hovland, I like Hovland too, so sorry. And then I have Hovland taking out DeChambeau. So setting up a Casey Hovland semifinal.
I like
Interesting.
it.
Okay.
On the other side, I have Louis and Spieth coming out, and I have Spieth defeating Louis there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Carlos Ortiz and Patrick Reed, and I have Reed advancing, unfortunately.
We
On
got
the lower-
Spieth versus Reed. Right?
Spieth versus Reed, yep. And then I have, unfortunately, everybody's hopes are dashed, and Reed gets through.
Reed. Interesting.
You have Reed as the spoiler of the week.
So on the other side, I got, lower down, I have Shoffley coming out and Cam Smith, and I have Shoffley moving past there, and I have Rahm and Berger, and Rahm getting through, setting up a Rahm Shoffley showdown, which Rahm will prevail. So that makes a semifinal of Paul Casey, Victor Hovland, Patrick Reed, and John Rahm, and I have Rahm and Hovland coming through,
Wow.
with Rahm taking it down. And then as the third place winner, Patrick Reed.
Interesting. I like a lot of parts of it. I don't know.
I like a lot of parts of it too. We actually have some not dissimilar aspects of our brackets.
I think it's potentially a little bit too, I want to say mainstream or like high.
I don't
high
think
end.
so.
I don't know. I'm just saying. That's my thoughts.
Well, considering you don't have Rahm getting out of the group, then yeah. Not great.
Okay, Craig. Do you want to
Okay,
go?
I'll follow it up here because I've got some interesting things happening in my top left. So similar to Kevin, I have Dustin Johnson out of Group 1, although I have Leishman coming out of Group 16. And I have DJ taking down Leishman to advance to the quarterfinals. And then down below, I've got Paul Casey and Tyrrell Hatton coming out of their groups respectively. And I've got Paul Casey advancing to face DJ in the quarterfinals. And I have Paul Casey taking down DJ. So there's a lot of love for Paul Casey in these parts. Okay, over down the next quadrant. Yeah. Bryson DeChambeau is coming out. He's facing Zalatoris in the round of 16. I have Bryson beating Zalatoris. And then I have Answer coming out and facing Max Homa in the 16. I have Answer taking down Homa to make a Bryson Answer quarterfinal. And I have Bryson taking that one down to advance to face Paul Casey in the semifinal.
Yeah.
Moving up to the top right, I had Oosthuizen and Jordan Spieth coming out of their groups. Unlike Kevin, I've got Oosty taking down Jordan Spieth. And then I have Cantlay and Joaquin Niemann. Reed doesn't even sniff the weekend. I've got Cantlay. This is actually, interestingly enough, this is a rematch of a President's Cup match. And Cantlay took down Niemann, and I have that happening again. So Cantlay takes down Niemann. He advances to face Oosty in the quarterfinals. And I have Oosty taking it down to get into the semis.
Wow. Sorry, I was writing your pick. I already had Cantlay. I thought you had him advancing.
You already had Cantlay clicked through.
Oosty, sorry, you got Oosty in the semis.
Oosty in the semis from the top right quadrant. And then down below, I had Xander coming out of Group 6 and then Cameron Smith out of Group 11. I have Cameron Smith with the upset there. So he knocks off Rory, he knocks off Xander. But, spoiler alert, John Rahm will beat Brendan Todd. So I've got Rahm coming out of Group 3, Brendan Todd coming from Group 14. And
to be fair there, Craig, I had that for a while. I had Cam Smith moving on, but I'm getting really high on Cam Smith for the Masters, so I don't want him to peak too early.
I gotcha. So I have Rahm beating Brendan Todd to move to the quarterfinals where he'll face Cam Smith, and there Cam Smith's run of taking down the Titans of golf ends, and Rahm takes him. So we've got Oosty and Rahm in the semifinal on that side. So I have Paul Casey, Bryson DeChambeau, Louis Oosthuizen, and John Rahm in my final four. And I've got a fairly chalky final. I've got Bryson and Rahm going through. I also have John Rahm taking the whole thing down.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
let's hope he makes it out of the group, eh?
You guys are suckers.
Adam doesn't even have him making him out of the group. He's
not even gonna win on Wednesday.
And just for sake of I actually have Paul Casey winning his third place matchup. So there, Kevin and I differ. I just am a little bit that touch higher on Paul Casey.
So it's super interesting. Okay, I think I just got to rip through it, and there's a lot of similarities, some clearly ways I went different.
The guy we have winning, you don't have making out of the group.
Yeah. Top left, I got DJ for Sungjae Im. DJ advances as well. Down below, I got Paul Casey for Sergio. Casey is advancing, so we got a DJ versus Casey, just like you guys. I'm calling the same upset. It's Paul Casey. Paul Casey is that.
Paul Casey's not even going to make it out of his group now.
I know. All three of us make him in the semifinals. It's going to be
Webb. Webb is going to be.
Yeah. Paul Casey, I don't know. It's scary to me right now. But Paul Casey is my semifinalist from the top left of the bracket. Moving down, Bryson advances, and Fratelli. Sorry, Fratelli. Bryson got the better there. Bryson is in the quarters. We have Hovland versus Morikawa in this all rookie kind of showdown. Hovland takes it.
That would be a great matchup, actually, if that comes
really
to fruition.
Great matchup, yeah. That leaves us with Bryson versus Hovland in the quarterfinals, and it's Hovland. Hovland with the upset over Bryson. So Hovland versus Casey, just like Kevin. Same semi on the left side. We got Casey versus Hovland. Going up top. Louis Oosthuizen made it out. He's facing Corey Connors. Upset. Corey Connors goes to the quarterfinals.
Ooh.
Yeah. We have Patrick Cantlay below with Christian Bezuidenhout. I got Patrick Cantlay coming out. So in
Now,
the
did you pick
quarterfinals,
Christian Bezuidenhout just so that Cantlay could have the easiest path possible? Now you've got him facing Bez and now Connors to get through.
I couldn't move Brendan Todd up to that, so I had to
Gotcha.
shuffle my way around, but there might be some narrative there. The quarterfinals is Connors versus Cantlay. You guys might be like, where's his heart being pulled here? Is his Canadian boy or his boy? It's Cantlay. Cantlay's coming out of the top right. He is my semifinalist there. Moving down, this is where the Cinderella happens. Scotty Scheffler advanced in my pool versus Cameron Smith. Scotty Scheffler advances to the quarterfinals. Who's he going to play? We got Brendan Todd versus Sebastian Munoz with a heavyweight bout down there in the bottom right. Boom, Sebastian Munoz advances, leaving us with a Scotty Scheffler, Sebastian Munoz quarterfinal. Scotty Scheffler takes it. So we're left Paul
Still
Casey.
making that path for Cantlay pretty easy.
Hey, upsets happen.
Yeah.
We got Paul Casey, Victor Hovland, Patrick Cantlay, and Scotty Scheffler as the semifinalist. Victor Hovland and Patrick Cantlay advance, and we have Patrick Cantlay as the winner. It's a homer pick, I know. Casey does take Scotty Scheffler down in the third place match.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
The left side is very similar for all of us. Paul Casey upsetting DJ, and we have a lot
that
of...
surprises me. I actually thought someone might have DJ to win the thing.
And then Victor, Hovland, and DeChambeau, I think for all of us.
No, I don't have Victor making it out of the group. Both of you guys haven't gone to the finals.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I just always assume you have picked Victor.
Yeah. I mean, I like Victor. I would be very happy if he beats Answer, but that's one of the places I'm just trying to get weird.
That's interesting. So, I mean, there's so many different ways this can go. I feel like we're all...
Seems like we're all fairly high on Bryson. I'd be curious to know why you guys... I mean, you can break down everyone, but both you guys have Bryson losing to Hovland. So... do you want to dig into how you see that going down, or why you think that might go down that way? Both U.S. amateur winners, both strong match play players.
Yeah, I mean,
both in good form. I think it'd be a great match.
I am super, super high on Hovland as a match play player for the rest of his career. I think he can match birdie for birdie with Bryson. I think he can do it in different ways. He won't, like you said, his stroke gain attitude is one of the best on the tours.
I think that's actually kind of what it comes down to for me is he's not going to be phased. Bryson seems to get a little bit more rattled sometimes.
I think Hovland won't care about being shorter off the tee. I think some people facing Bryson, especially I think people who length is a weapon for, they get more sort of thrown off if you're constantly shorter than someone else. Whereas Hovland, really, he is long, but it's more for how long he is. He's very accurate off the tee. And then I think his long ball striking into greens is amongst the best on the tour.
Like for instance, someone like Fratelli, I think, has been chasing distance, adding distance, facing Bryson while you're doing that to your game.
It's like you're in mid bulk.
I mean, it's got to be discouraging a little bit.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I think is interesting too, I have Hatton. You guys both have Sergio coming out. I think Hatton, if Paul Casey, I could see Hatton going deep if he gets past Casey there.
Yeah, I think honestly the top left it's
a tough bracket. I mean, aside from just having the number one, it's got a lot of good players who are lower ranked.
I was going to say the opposite.
And then there's the whole narrative we were talking about earlier where Fleetwood just wins the whole thing. So
I got to see my wife's bracket. Like how's that happening?
I think the one that I think is interesting as well, Adam has Cantlay coming out of the top right to win the whole thing. To me, that top right is very wide open.
I think wide open.
I think that one
DJ, Rom, Bryson, I feel like those three kind of feel a little bit heavy favorite ish, just based on the paths they have through. They seem like they might not be the hardest of paths, whereas that one just seems like there's no real heavy favorite.
We've all slept on JT, who
has the shortest odds, I think, of anyone in the tournament.
Honestly, there's 16 guys there that at the end of the day, you're like, okay, Bubba Watson is the winner out of that quadrant. You'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I guess so. Like maybe not Kuchar and maybe not Wolf are the only ones I really have a hard time seeing them win that.
Yeah. And then the other one that Kevin had mentioned that I agree with, I think I'm sleeping on Xander a bit. I have him coming out of his group and then losing. I think he easily could be one of these guys that really starts to flash match play form and goes deep.
Yeah, I think so too.
I have him losing to Cam Smith, but I think a Xander, if it comes out a Xander Rahm match, would be pretty darn good.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, guys, I think that is our entire bracket. We put our brackets out there. It's out for the world. If you think you can beat us, sign up to our bracket challenge on PGAtour.com. The link is below, or it is on our Twitter if you want to find it there at Grandstand Golf. Anything to add here, guys? We got our stuff on YouTube. We got our stuff on Twitter. It's a Wednesday morning start. It's gonna be a full packed week of golf. Thank you for joining us. And
I mean, the only thing I would add, if you think you can beat us, and let me just say, there's a very good chance you will. So sign up and submit a bracket.
Yeah, to me, like it almost feels like it's not quite like this is an appetizer for the Masters. It's sort of like this is like the lunch or like maybe the brunch you have on the day earlier in the day before the big dinner's coming. It's like we got this. It's going to be great matchups all week, and then we're.
You don't want to eat too much.
You don't want to eat too much, but you're still like,
you want to warm up your stomach a little bit.
yeah, exactly.
You know what? I love match play, and I think there's a lot of new fans to golf with the pandemic and it kind of rising as a sport in the world. I think a lot of new golf fans are going to be like just awestruck with match play and how cool and entertaining it can be.
It's very
and hopefully we get some of these like kind of premier good matchups because that makes a difference. But it also showcases that any of these guys can.
But then you also have Lucas Bjerregaard taking down Tiger Woods. Like that's the great thing about match play.
It's just going to be a little more exciting if it's Rahm instead of Munoz.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Good luck this week. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Take care, everybody.